Hey, you right, guys. Basically, this is Richy, Ben, and Dan from Herefordshire Wargaming, and also in partnership with.
Paint by Fingers, which you'll find on my Instagram. I also have Review by Fingers on YouTube, which will be linked down below of this video. Check them out.
Yeah, which should be quite cool. Basically, we're here today to talk about the tournament that we were at over the weekend at Warhammer World, which was the Age of Sigmar Doubles Tournament. It's 1,000 points each, which was pretty decent, to be honest. There was a good turnout. I think it's 72
Yeah,
teams.
72 teams all in all, yeah. It was pretty good. First tournament I've been to in a very long time. I think the last one I went to was in 2010. And Games Workshop have changed their approach to tournaments quite a lot, which I have to say I do enjoy, because there was a lot less of the sweaty lists and a lot less of the whack players there, and a lot more people who were just there to have some fun, roll some dice, drink some beers and do some Warhammer, which is basically what we're all about anyway, which is really cool.
Pretty much. Well, it was mine and Dan's first tournament we've ever been to. We teamed up together because we thought, well, we're just probably going to lose anyway.
Yeah.
But
we didn't do too bad though. No, yeah, we did good. Yeah, we did well. You tell
We
them.
came 40th out of 72 teams.
Yeah.
So beat the other Herefordshire lots.
Yeah.
So I was really happy with that.
Me and Alex.
pale mediocrity.
Well, me and Alex, who isn't here, we actually were 45th. So still not too bad. We were dominating the middle a little. And the other guys who aren't here, their team was actually 44th. So we were squarely in the low to mid 40s. Out of 72, which we don't deem too bad, to be honest. Although we did learn a lot from this tournament, and it's changed us as players. Changed us as Age of Sigmar players.
More whack.
More whack, yeah, maybe. No, more just smarter about how we play the game, I think.
This is true. I think I might actually read my rules from
Yeah,
now on, basically.
yeah.
And hopefully they listen to me when I tell them the rules.
Well,
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Cool, so why don't we talk about our armies a little bit. We'll start with Richy and we'll move across. I should start with Dan and we'll move across.
Yeah.
If you want to tell us about your army, Dan, what did you take? And what
I
did you
took Magnificent of Nurgle. Basically, I took the Blight Cysts Battle War Squad Battalion, led by the Lord of Blights, 3 units of Blight Kings, and a Harbinger of Decay. It's 1,000 points, it's a 1-drop army, which is really handy when it came to determining who was going first and second. It allowed my Blight Kings to have a -1 rend, which is also very handy. And the Harbinger of Decay allowed my army as a warlord trait. Allowed my army to have a 5-up morbid vigor, like a disgusting resilience. So that was pretty handy to have in a mortal Nurgle army. And but there was a good army. But the thing was, you had to keep it within 7 inches of the Harbinger of Decay to keep the morbid vigor. Otherwise,
did you find that difficult?
yes.
Yeah.
There were spells out there. The Stormcast Eternal Meteor Endless spell.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, landed right in the middle of me, and I had a 5-inch bubble around it that everything within 5 inches took a mortal wound. So I had to move away from that. Moving away from that meant my army had to split up.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting back into that 7-inch bubble was a little bit difficult. So things like that mucked my army about a bit, but
yeah.
did
Did alright overall though, to be fair. Although 7-inch bubble, mine was only 3.
Yeah.
So not
Yeah.
too bad. I took Caradron Overlords to be paired up with Dan. Basically, I took my 1,000 point list was a Navigator. He had the Esoteric Loop artifact so that he could dispel on 3 dice, which was pretty handy to be fair. Considering we got no spellcasters in the entire army, which was brilliant. And then I took from my battle line 2 units of Arcanauts, 2 with the light Skyhooks, and then 2 with the Skypikes. I found the Skypikes a little bit redundant, just mainly because by the time I got into combat, my dudes were dead anyway. So I'd have been better off just taking more guns, realistically. And then I took the Ironclad, which I was a little bit worried about to start with, because obviously it's a lot of points to pump into one model, but did quite well overall. And then I had 6 Endrin Riggers, which to be honest would have landed a match for me. Just a -2 rend and D3 damage did absolutely amazing. Basically, I took Mornar, which means that my command ability was I can focus fire on a unit, so I pick an enemy unit, and then all units that are within 3 inches of my general get to reroll hits against a unit, which is really handy, and to be honest, it did really well for us. Didn't play much flying stuff though, so I didn't get much re-rolls in the wound phase, unfortunately, which would have been handy. But to be honest, the list did really well. I went into it quite sceptically with the Caradron because I haven't had much luck with them, to be perfectly honest. But they performed the best that they ever have done. Ironclad more than paid for his points, more than.
Every game, I think.
Yeah, did really, really well. I mean, it took a lot of focus off the enemy coming towards it, trying to kill that, and then the rest of the units just come in and picked off units at a time. Did quite well, obviously, because the armies are one drop in the clown car. So you drop that on one side, then the enemy will send units after it. You kill each individual unit with with your entire army focus firing on one unit at a time. Quickly gets down the enemy. Does well.
I took an army of Fire Slayers, 50% of which I purchased the Tuesday before the event and painted the entire thing in 3 days, which I'm pretty proud of, to be honest.
Yeah, you did well with that
It's
one.
not my best paint scheme, but it's certainly a painted army, and it looks all right on the table, actually, I think. I took at a distance, yeah, in the dark. I took 2 Magma Droths, 2 units of 10 Berserkers. I took, on the Magma Drops was a Rune Lord and a Rune Sun. The Rune Sun to deal with monsters and the Rune Lord to deal with characters and large units. And I have to say, in the game, I found Magma Drops really work well in pairs when they're together. If you send one down that end of the board and one down that end of the board, they tend to die.
Synergy.
Yeah, you keep them together. You've got so much mortal wounds that they're throwing out there because they can breathe fire on things. Then they swipe their tails. They bleed on them. The characters' weapons do mortal wounds and D3 damage, and the latch key is excellent as well. I shut down a Nurgle player's Blight King Lord because he came at my Magma Droth Rune Lord, rolled 6s as my saves, and he had to reroll successful wins against that, which is not something I really put much thought into until this tournament, and actually it's really devastating because after that he wasn't touching me, he couldn't do anything, and I eventually killed him and wore him down after he kept passing all those disgusting resilient saves. Fought one player who's actually really big Fire Slayers player. He didn't take his Fire Slayers this time, he took Nagash and about 6 of the undead dogs, and his opponent took a load of pink horrors and a load of change, and that was not a fun game, I've got to say.
Always
really nice guys.
Points,
yeah, ridiculous. Really nice guys, absolutely great guys. Really explained what their army was all about. They bought us a drink afterwards because basically the game was over in their hero phase of turn 1. So they absolutely shut us down and just killed us and took away all our scoring units because it was a mission where only people with a relic or who were wizards. My partner only had 1 wizard and a guy with a relic, and I clearly only had 1 guy with a relic, and they vanished in the first turn during Nagash's 8 spells, or 9 spells that he could cast in that game because of the rules that Games Workshop put on it. But overall, I think it was really good. I've really enjoyed the army. I am going to continue with the army, I think, and put more stuff into it. I'm going to get there's not that many units, so I will eventually probably own 1 of every unit. And I also plan as well on my channel, I'm going to do a cheeky plug of doing a speed painting tutorial of how I managed to paint that many that quickly and get them done. Because I know that's something, my partner, specifically Alex, if you're watching, we all know your pain. Yeah, we all know the pain you had getting your army painted for the table. And we would also be interested in hearing your thoughts at some point. Because unfortunately he can't be with us today because he's up north in the frozen wastes where he lives.
Above the wall.
Yeah, above the wall where he lives. So what did everyone think of the actual tournament itself, of the day, of how Games Workshop ran it? Do we going to do any more?
I would very much like to do more. I had lots of fun. Everyone there also were just there to have fun, play games, and meet new people. I think we met some quite interesting people up there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And it was also from a perspective, obviously we play in our little group. Just seeing the different types of armies and different ways of playing them, I think was really quite interesting.
We've always played quite casually, to be perfectly honest, and thematic games.
Just messing
about really.
Yeah.
And we thought certain armies were quite difficult to face against, and then you go to a tournament setting and you realise that those armies are actually rubbish. But it's good though. I think it makes you feel completely different about your army and what your army can do. And just it's about making a more well-rounded list, really.
I learned a lot about my army, and I can tell you the difference between the first and the last game of how I was playing it is black and white. Yeah, apples and pears.
Also, it's quite surprising as well, 'cause you hear all these rumours about how you need to be on top of your game in tournaments and how it's all timed and you need to be really quick. I think our first game, which we won with a major victory, we started off really, really quickly thinking that we needed to get so much done in a certain amount of time that when we come to the end of it, it was over quite quickly.
Yeah, well, I mean, we managed to table them in probably about 2 turns. So we just kind of focus fired on everything to kill specific units. It was a death and death list. Basically what it was Arcana Black with 30 Grimghast Reapers, I think it is. Which was pretty scary, to be perfectly honest. And then on the his teammate had a Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon and 6 Morghast Akai, which, oh gee, it scared me. But we managed to kill all of them. We got priority 3 turns in a row.
No.
So luckily,
it's worth noting I got priority once out of 5 games. Me and my partner.
I think at least in every game we've got at least 1 priority.
Nah, I can't roll dice. I need new dice because my dice I think have run out. I've had those dice since 2010, if not earlier, and I think they've just run out of dice juice. I need new dice that can roll better for me.
That's always his excuse. I think everyone who we played there were really generally good people.
Yeah, people talk about whack players and like real hardcore tournament players. There definitely weren't any of those there. Maybe one. There weren't any of those there at that tournament that I met. I don't know about anyone else, but there were certainly people who knew what they were doing. There were people who knew the rules. They knew how to play the game. They knew how they wanted to play the game, and they knew what their army was supposed to do and how to make it do that. And that was the big difference because they were nice people. They were friendly. They were fun to play against. But they knew what they were doing. And in turn, we learned off of them. I mean, I know I certainly did. There were 1 or 2 occasions where we would be doing something and our opponent would pick us up on a rule that we might have missed or suggest something that we hadn't thought about to do against their army that they knew could be done that would benefit us. So it wasn't necessarily about we're going to beat you 100%. It was we're going to have a game with you and along the way we're going to learn new things, new tactics. Yeah. But they did beat us 100% sometimes as well.
Because we played 2 different Stormcast armies, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we were slightly unlucky with one because it was the objective-based game that can only be held by wizards and heroes with artifacts. Now, I only had 1 hero of an artifact, and Dan only had 1 hero of an artifact as well. I mean, the Great Engine Works on the Ironclad also counted as an artifact, so I did manage to plonk that on an objective because it's quite hard to kill an Ironclad. But they just managed to get all of the other ones, and there's crazy strong list, massive blobs of Stormcast, real difficult to get through.
I only fought 1 Stormcast army. It was Stormcast Vanguard, which I also play. So fortunately for me, I already knew all of their weaknesses, and that was one of my major victories with my opponent. As soon as they put it down on the table, I was like, "But from that unit there, this is my list. I can deal with this." And that was one of only 2 games we won. So we won. Me and my partner Alex, we won 2. It sounds like I'm going out with him, but me and my gaming partner Alex, we won 2 out of the 5 games. So.
Yeah, we won 2 out of the 5 games as well.
Yeah.
I was very surprised to see the amount of in a 1,000-point league, in a 1,000-point game, the amount of greater demons or big things. When you think about making your list,
I took 2 behemoths, so.
But in terms of points,
was different to like Nagash.
Yeah, true.
In terms of points, you think right, I'm taking 1,000 points. I'm going to try and take as much as possibly I can do, as much things that's going to bounce off each other. But then when you see a Lord of Change, or a Great and Clean one,
I saw
240 points.
Forge War Dread Saurian as well at one point, with just loads of skinks. So.
Although we say this, I took a 400-point Ironclad.
Yeah, true.
So,
well, like I said, I took.
But your Ironclad is your army, isn't it?
Pretty much,
Everything comes out of there, whereas a greater demon is just a greater demon.
Yeah. Well, in our last game, thanks to their Nurgle summoning points, we were up against 2 greater demons by the end of the game. So they had 1 on the board, which we ignored to go kill things and get objectives, and then they hadn't summoned anything, so like an idiot, I was like, oh, maybe they can't summon stuff, or the guy's forgotten or something, and then he plonked a greater demon down on the last objective and won the game. So yeah, we weren't shifting that, not even with 2 Magmatroths. We weren't shifting that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But in our last game, Richy and I went up against, it was a Nurgle army and a Khorne army. And they took a Bloodthirster, but then the rest was just generic bog standard demons, but in big blobs. which is really, really hard to do anything against, especially the 30-man blob of noble demons.
Yeah, well, they kept summoning stuff in every turn. They were bouncing off Dan's tree. They had some Nurglings in our deployment zone, because obviously with Caradon and Blight Kings, we're trying to hold on to 3 objectives where we've only got about 30 guys between us. So we're huddled up in this little tiny corner, and they're just surrounding us. They had over 120 minis on the table by the time.
Yeah, I saw. I walked past that and saw
absolutely swarmed us.
Yeah, it was nuts. That was crazy.
Killed a lot of stuff, to be honest, but like I managed to take out a Bloodthirster in one volley. From my entire army. But managed to take him out, and then just got clogged up with everything else. Massive 10-man unit of Blight Kings proper slowed me down. Just couldn't get out of combat with them.
10-man units of Blight Kings, I couldn't deal with.
Managed
without committing a lot of my army to it. Yeah.
Managed to get him down to 1 wound left on the last one, so unfortunately we didn't get the victory points for it, which was a little bit of a bummer. I was just happy I covered the Bloodthirster. So.
In the amount of games that we played, I think in every game we, apart from the one that we've tabled, we scored the most amount of kill points.
Yeah, the victory points.
Even when we lost, we killed more of the opponent's army than they could have ours, which did help towards our.
It's your only goal, isn't it? Now,
it is.
Game.
It is. But it was also very nice to see as well. There's no there didn't seem to be a particular go-to list.
Yeah.
That anyone played, because we saw loads of different armies.
Yeah, that was nice to see, because again, when I've done tournaments in the past, when you get the real meta army list, like I don't know, Space Marine Bikes, for example, it was drop pod lists with dreadnoughts. That was a big list once upon a time in 5th edition 40k. You go to a tournament and see 8 or 9 of those, like easily, and it was quite a nice mix, wasn't it? There was a lot of different stuff there. Saw a number of Nagashes, I have to admit, but there was quite a decent mix.
I think the main thing was double death. To be honest, there was a lot of death there.
Death's kind of been pushed by GW as well. It's the newest releases and things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
don't get me wrong, they work really well. They are brilliant armies, and they work really well at what they do. It was just, I'd like to have seen a bit more destruction there, I think.
I saw one orc army that I can remember. Doesn't mean there wasn't more than one, but I saw.
There was a couple of beasts of.
Loads of Beasts of Chaos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We fought Beast Claw Raiders in our first game, and I totally underestimated them in the first game.
Forgot about the from 2 Thunder Tusks, the 12 mortal wounds coming at him.
That's what I.
Have you played against him?
I played Dan's a long time ago with my Stormcast, and the difference was my Stormcast Vanguard just avoided everything.
Yeah.
So I never got the 10 mortal wounds, and then today I did. Not against you, I didn't.
Oh yeah.
Not against you. Again, in that game, I totally did, and then we fought them again later on, and I was able to kill the Stone Horn or whatever it's called? Thunder Tusk. I was able to kill the Thunder Tusk, but only because I knew what to expect, and I got the charge off first with a Rune Sun with his spear. So that did pretty good against it, to be fair. Obviously backed up by Alex's Beastmen as well, who were putting out the damage. The Doom Ball was insane. 25 damage it did in one combat. Mortal wounds. Oh no, sorry, not mortal wounds. 25 damage it did in one combat, which was nuts. They didn't see it coming. Great big unit of Blight Kings just disappeared underneath it. It was really good.
And that was only with 2 arms.
Yes, he had his arms.
As
we said, Alex did struggle with his painting. I'm sure we'll hear his point of view sooner or later. He's not here, but yeah.
You only had 3 months to sort it, so
all I'm going to say, guys, is I struggled even more because I bought a Beast of Chaos army actually to play at the tournament. I started it, as you can see. That's pretty much as far as I got, and the rest.
And then you were like, "But I've got a painted army. I'll take that."
Yeah, so I just ended up taking the Caradron.
That's fair.
They did all right in the end. I was a little bit gutted I didn't get more than 1 model painted for the Beast of Chaos. But
so, are we all going to be doing more armies after this? Are we going to be doing more tournaments?
I'm looking to do a Stormcast Eternals army. I was very put off with Stormcast to begin with, seeing everything all gold and shiny, but after seeing the different painting schemes that everyone had to the different armies, I don't think I saw 1 gold Stormcast.
Yeah. We 4 gold Stormcast.
I do.
Yeah, basic gold.
Sorry, they don't count. We didn't see
They don't count. And so
I still think it's a good scheme, the gold. Gold is easy because gold paint is easy to paint. It's really forgiving. So
especially with the spray can.
Yeah, the spray can, you've got the retribute, you've got to spray, wash it, dry brush it. It's really forgiving. Mine are gold for that reason. So
yeah, boring. But and just seeing how the basic guys can do quite a lot of damage, like the Secretors and the new Mace guys, the new Wizard guys.
Evocators.
Evocators, yeah. Are they the ones riding the big cat dog things?
They do ride the big catalogs, but also they just come on foot as well. Like, you know, a unit, when they're up against an enemy unit that's 3 inches away, they can roll 2 dice for each model in that enemy unit. And on a 4+, it's a model win. Which is like, wow, ouch.
Yeah.
So I don't want that.
I'm starting a Eisenhower Deepkin army. Just mainly because playing as the stunties, I didn't get much movement at all. I don't feel like I could have grabbed any of the objectives. So I'm going to jump completely the opposite side of the spectrum now and go for a fully mobile eel army.
Should be good.
Which should be quite good. See how they go anyway. I might be missing a bit of a horde aspect, so I might get some thralls at some point. A big unit of 20 of them might be quite good. See how that goes anyway. I got really excited about the hobby after the tournament, so I bought a load and started playing them straight away. So they should be on the channel sometime soon. They'll definitely be on the Instagram page.
Yeah. Well, they'll be on the channel, no doubt. We're going to be doing some battle reports, so they'll no doubt find their way into there. Yeah.
They'll be slipping about anyway.
Sneaking about.
One thing I did really like, as I said, it's our first tournament, and you have these apprehensions about doing tournaments, but afterwards it's like, you know, meeting everybody there, and they all want to play games. As I said, they're just there to have fun. It just really encourages you to want to do more.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to do more. At the moment, I'm sticking with the Fire Slayers. I'm going to get some more units for those. I found a few, after chatting to this guy about his Fire Slayers, there's a few tricks I'd like to try with mine, but I don't know the units. I'm going to buy the units and try them out. And as for my next Age of Sigmar army, I don't know. I had spent probably about 2 hours wandering around Warhammer World, trying to figure out, and up in the miniatures hall and everything, trying to figure out what my next army should be, but I haven't figured out. So what I did for 40k with my last army was on a Secret Santa, I let someone pick the army for me by buying something for that army for my Secret Santa. I may do that this year as well, unless anyone can think of anything that you want to put down in the comments that you think I should play. Bear in mind I like really hard-hitting, smashing armies, but I want something quite fast as well, so maybe a mountain.
Spider-Grots.
Maybe. Yeah. I haven't seen anything that immediately makes me go, those. Like the dwarves did. So 2 dragons on the table was pretty tasty, running around. And it was easy to buy, because it was just 2 starter sets, so that was quite good. But yeah, definitely want to do more. I want to do more some for 40k as well. Because, you know, I do like a bit of 40k. I know Dan's quitting 40k. But I do like a bit of 40k. I want to run my Eldar again soon too, in some games.
Yeah, man.
We're actually talking about possibly doing the 40k doubles as well.
Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna do that for sure.
Just to compare the two.
Yeah,
it should be quite good. Looking at getting the Deathcore Krieger for that, so that should be pretty decent.
Of course, they're nice. Such a nice army. I don't have the guts to do a Forge World army.
All the money.
All the money. Yeah, it's the money mainly more than the guts. That's what I mean when I say guts. I haven't the money to drop on a Forge World army.
I don't anymore.
I don't know what I'd do if I did do one. Maybe Custodes. 30k Custodes, and just proxy it as 40. Well, they're all going to get 40k rules soon anyway, I'm sure, because Games Workshop likes money. So,
but Custodes are quite OP though, aren't they? So
they're alright. I don't know how OP they are. I quite like the idea of only having an army with like 6 guys in. I have a knight army, and I have that because I like big things. Maybe that's what I'm missing from Age of Sigmar, just an army of big stuff. But I like the idea of just having 4 units on a table. It's way easier to keep track of.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Right, well, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Links below to our Instagrams and other YouTube channels. Please feel free to leave a comment. Any feedback is always welcome. And look forward to seeing you in the next video.
See you later, guys.